Hi there Yogi friends, and welcome to yet another lockdown virtual yoga session. If you don't know me, my name is Alichia. This is Damascus. So today we're basically just going to work on counteracting this posture that we've gained throughout this lockdown or quarantine or self-isolation, whichever you're going through, wherever you are in the world. So if you're spending a lot of time at home, or even if you're spending a lot of time in the office, you may have this posture going on. So today we're going to counteract that. We're going to break the screen, even though you're looking at me on the screen. And we're just going to open up through the chest. We really strengthen the back muscles and ground through the back body so that we get this lift, we get this opening, so that we really just find the space to move that we need to. Today I want us to all set an intention before we begin, whatever that may be. It may be spiritual, physical, mental. But we always want to move with intention. We always want to make sure that any movement that we do has a purpose. It doesn't need to be the best yogi out there. It can just be to find space, to find some time, to find a lift, to find energy and space to move. With that being said, let us begin. So today I want you to come into Sukhasana, a nice easy pose. You can bring the legs to cross, or they can be separated, one heel in front of the other, whichever is comfortable for you today. But then I want you to make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall, head over heart, heart over pelvis, and we pull the navel to spine, so we're activating the core, and we find a nice lift, energetic lift through the front body and grounding through the back body. We draw the shoulders forward, up and back, pulling the scapula together and releasing it down and away from the ears. We're going to start with a nice seated cat-cow. So much like the tabletop version, we're just going to, on the inhale, swim the chest forward, open up through the chest, chin goes up to the ceiling. We're arching through the back, pulling down through the shoulders towards the mat. And on the exhale, we roll it back, curving through the spine. Forward comes down to the mat. Inhale, we swim the heart forward. So we're going to go through this a few times at the pace of your own breath. Let's try and keep the hands grounded here, using them to aid us in the opening and the compressing of this posture. If you're practicing in the morning, this is a nice wake up for the spine, or if you've been seated all day, you might feel stiff in this posture or in this movement. Wherever you are, finish your cycle, and then we come back to seated. Just going into a side stretch. We inhale, reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling, bring the left fingertips to the mat. On the exhale, we bend the rooted hand and reach up and over with the right fingertips. Look up towards the ceiling. On an exhale, we roll down towards the mat. Right fingertips come down. Inhale to open up. Exhale, we roll down once more. Inhale, opening up. On an exhale, we come back to center and straight to the other side. Plant the right fingertips. Inhale, left fingertips reach up. And on the exhale, we bend the elbow as we reach up and over into the twist. On an exhale, we roll it down. Inhale to open, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, look up towards the ceiling. And this side feels a little stiff, so I'm going to exhale, roll back down. Inhale, reach back up. And on an exhale, we come back to center. Give your shoulders a few rolls here. Forward, up and back. and then reverse. So reach it back up and forward. And then we're going to go into a little cow face arms here. So I'm just going to turn so that everyone can see me. To come into cow face arms, we're going to inhale, reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, hinge at the elbow, bring the palm towards the center of the upper back body. Try to sit up nice and tall, so not squeezing down through the head here. Sit up nice and tall. Then we're going to swim the left fingertips around to come up. Try to bring the fingertips to touch, or you can grab onto them, hook them into each other. Or if this is too tight for you, you can grab a strap and pull it down to open up here. We hold for 3, 2, 1, and then we release. As we came in, go to the other side. So really find some space here, not closing through the throat. Press the elbows back. If you're here, that's fine. Just listen to your own body. If you're using a strap, you'll be here for 3, 2, 1, and then we come out as we came into it. Right from there, we're going to go to our tabletop. So really take your time getting here. Be super gentle with your body. We bring the wrists directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hip points. But we're not going to stay here for long. We're just going to generate a little bit of heat. So pressing out of the yoga mat, we pull navel to spine. And then on an exhale, we're going to lift the knees and just hold for 3, 2, 1. Then we release. We walk the big toes together, knees as wide as the mat, and we sink the hips back to extended child's pose. Really activating the hands here, making sure that you're stretching through the chest and the armpits. If you've got a little bit of allergies, as I seem to have, you can bring the forehead to the mat and just massage the center of the forehead against the ground. It really helps with the sinuses. Then on an inhale, we look forward. And on the exhale, we're going to slide up onto the belly into Sphinx pose. Exhale, release. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale to a baby cobra. Exhale to release. Inhale, we press back to our extended child's pose. Inhale, we roll up into cobra. Exhale, back to extended child's pose. It's okay if your knees come in. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to child's pose. One last time. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to child's pose. Take a moment, take a breath. Then on the inhale, we come up to tabletop position. We're going to tuck the toes under, send the hands a little forward, really pressing into all 10 fingertips and knuckles, almost pulling them back so that we've got grip here. We shine the elbows forward, press the shoulders away from the ears, and then on the exhale, we sit the hips back and up into a bent knee, downward facing dog. So the reason I want you to do the bent knee down and facing dog today instead of just pressing it down is I want you to actively press the chest back towards the knees. So the belly almost comes to the top of the thighs. And then we work on straightening it out a little. So we want the head and the ears to relax between the biceps. Pressing the chest back. Inhale to look forward. On an exhale, we step up to forward fold. Take a moment in forward fold to allow the head, the neck and the shoulders to relax. All the way down to the mat. You can bend the knees here generously. And then work to straighten. On an inhale, we lift up halfway, hug the elbows into the side body. Nice long neck and back. Exhale to release. Inhale slowly, roll it up to Tadasana or the mountain pose. So in the mountain pose here today, I want you to actively rotate the shoulders away from your ears. Open up the palms towards the front of the mat. Active hands. Make sure that your mountain is not tilting backwards. You're hugging the tailbone in. Hug the lower ribs in. Pull navel to spine. Lift the chest. Grounding into all four corners of the feet. And we breathe. Actively opening up the chest, but at the same time hugging the lower ribs in. If you're holding unnecessary tension in the neck or the mouth, release it here. Then on an inhale, we bend the knees, arms go up overhead, reach up towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, we're going to swim the hands back, interlace the fingertips behind us. And we're going to press down through the knuckles to the mat. Then on an inhale, we bend the knees. Exhale, we lead with the chest as we forward fold. So knuckles start to reach up towards the ceiling. If this is too much for you, you can part the heels of the hands and the thumbs to allow you some space. Relax the neck and the head down. Then on an exhale, we release the fingertips down to the mat. We plant the palms. Exhale, step back to plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. On an exhale, we lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, we sit back into our child's pose. Inhale, make your way back to tabletop position, bringing the wrists and the hands directly underneath the shoulders. Then we're going to bring our elbows down to exactly the points where the hands were planted. You can bring the hands shoulder width apart in railway lines. Make sure that the toes stay parallel, the legs stay parallel. Or you can bring the fingertips to interlace here if that helps. But we're actively pressing the mat away from us. Then on an exhale, we're going to walk the knees back. Slowly starting to sink the chest down between the shoulders. So adjust here as you need to, walking the knees back. And we bring the chin to touch. Then on an inhale, I want you to really activate the front body. We hold for 3, 2, 1, then exhale, release the chest down. Inhale to slide up to your Sphinx pose. Give a very dirty kitty a pet. What happened to you? Then exhale to release. Inhale, press up to cobra. Exhale to release. Tuck the toes. Inhale, we pull the front body, or we activate the front body, pull navel to spine, and on the exhale we press up to plank. Exhale to a bent knee, downward facing dog, actively pressing the chest back towards the thighs. Inhale to look up. Exhale, we step up to forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Nice straight spine and neck, hugging the elbows into the side body. Exhale to release. Inhale, slowly roll it up to the mountain pose. Then we're going to zip up the legs, bring the feet together, heels a thumb width apart. Then on an inhale, we're going to bend the knees generously, bring the arms up overhead. So we reach. On an exhale, we're going to sink the hips back into Uttanasana, or the chair pose. So coming into the chair pose, if you've never done this before, make sure that your knees are not going past the big toes. You want to sit back as much as you can, tuck the tailbone in, pull the lower ribs in. You should be able to see the big toes. Inhale, reach up. On an inhale, we swim the hands back, interlacing behind the tailbone. On an exhale, we fold forward, straightening the legs, reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale to break free. Plant the palms, step back to plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to release. And then we're just going to take a moment to practice the locust pose here. So if you've never done locust pose before, I urge you to do this in the levels that I suggest. Excuse me. So we're going to come straight onto the chest. We're going to swing the hands back. So palms come to the sides of the thighs, palms facing down. Then we're going to actively press the palms into the mat as we roll the shoulders up. On an inhale, chin comes forward. And you'll feel that you need to activate the lower back for this. Option to lift the toes. First level of locust, exhale to release. So you can practice this first level again, or you can flip the palms up. On an inhale, we press the hip bones into the mat. Inhale to roll the shoulders up, lift the hands and the feet up towards the ceiling. Chin comes forward, and we breathe. You should feel the stretch through the armpits and the chest here. Exhale to release. So if you practice first level there, give the second level a try. Otherwise, you can go to the third level with me, where we'll interlace the fingertips at the tailbone. Then on an inhale, we roll up, press the fingertips back down to the back edge of the mat, lift the toes, or the feet up towards the ceiling. Chin comes forward. Exhale to release. Then we bring the hands underneath the shoulders, and we press up and back to our extended child's pose. On an inhale, look forward. Then we're going to slide up onto the knees, straight onto the elbows. Then from here, we're going to just walk the knees back into our puppy pose. So once again, let's actively hold the front body and the chest here, activating it for 3, 2, 1. Then on the exhale, we release the chin and the chest down to the mat. On an inhale, we slide up to our Sphinx pose. Then we bring the hands underneath the chest, press up to tabletop position. We will tuck the toes, press into all 10 knuckles and fingers, shine the elbows forward, press the shoulders away from the ears. And on an exhale, sit back into our bent knee, downward facing dog. Actively pressing the chest back towards the thighs so that we straighten it out the back and open through the chest. And then we can try to press the heels down. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, we step up to our forward fold. Inhale to bring the feet together, heels a thumb width apart. Then on an inhale, we'll come up into Uttanasana. Exhale, bring the elbows side to side, opening through the chest. Then inhale, reach up towards the ceiling, slight back bend. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Take a moment to catch a breath here. And then from our Tadasana pose, just going to step to the middle so that you can see me. From our Tadasana pose, we're going to shift the weight into the right leg. So make sure that you've got a micro bend in the right knee or in the grounded leg, but we're lifting and grounding through the back body. So hug the navel in. I'm just going to lift our right foot off the mat. So if you've never done the tree pose before, I want you to take note now. A common mistake that people make when they practice the tree pose, because it's a very commercial pose. It's a pose that a lot of people use for photos and everything. And it's actually very easy to hurt yourself in the tree pose. So let me tell you why. A lot of people try to bring their foot up, or the base of their foot up all the way into the thigh, but they can't. So they leave it hanging here over the knee. And oftentimes it's like something with the heel pressing into the knee. And the problem with that is, in the tree pose, you actively press the base of the foot and the place where it touches actively together so that you get that grounding and that stability. That grounding and stability. Now when you've got the heel on the knee, you're pressing against the ligaments and the tendons of the knee, you're pressing it out, and you can actually hurt yourself and you won't get a lot of the stability that you need. So if you can't bring your foot all the way up, I urge you to bring it to the calf, or if that's too much, bring the toes onto the mat, the heel just touching the ankle. Alright, let's move on. So you can decide whether you want your feet together or hip width apart. We shift the weight into the right leg. Then from there, we're just going to lift the left knee up. And if you can't, use your hand to bring the foot all the way into the thigh. You'll bring it to the calf or just to the ground. Or if you can bring it into the thigh and you really do not have any stability, you can go to a wall. But we actively press the inner thigh and the foot together, and we hold. Ground through the back body. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, we bend the elbows side to side, opening through the chest. And if you want to challenge your balance a little more, you can inhale and look up. On an exhale, we bring the hands to the heart. And if you're facing me, you can turn on the mat. Or if your mat is facing you, you can do so. Then we're just going to unhinge that leg, or the left leg. Bend through the standing leg. Inhale to reach the fingertips forward as you send the heel back to warrior three. Opening through the chest, actively reaching the hands forward, or you can bring the hands back to airplane pose. Turn the left toes in so that you square the hips. Then on an exhale, we step back to high lunge, arms come up and overhead. Sink into the lunge. Exhale, bend the elbows side to side, open through the chest, slight back bend. Inhale, reach up, and on the exhale, we plant the palms, step back to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we roll up and over into our cobra. Exhale, sit back into extended child's pose. Inhale to roll back up to tabletop, where we will plant the elbows, then walk the knees back to puppy pose, bringing the chest between the shoulders. Exhale to roll up into Sphinx. Then we release, bring the hands underneath the chest, press up to tabletop position, where you tuck the toes, and exhale to bent knee, downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward, exhale we step up to forward fold, walk the heels together, or the feet together, heels thumb width apart. Then on an inhale, we reach the fingertips up and forward as we sit back into Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the elbows open through the chest. Inhale to reach up, straightening through the legs, slight back bend. Exhale, bend the elbows. And then we release, bring the hands to the heart. Catch a breath here. Situate yourself in the mat, so if you want to face me, you can do so now. And then we're going to go into our tree pose on the other side. So your choice, feet hip width apart, all together. Then we shift our weight into the left leg. Micro bend in the left knee. Then on an inhale, we lift the right knee up towards the ceiling. And then we place the foot. So use your hand to guide you. Actively pressing the heel or the foot into either the calf, the ankle, or the thigh. Pull navel to spine, ground through the back body, open through the chest. On an inhale, we reach the fingertips up. Exhale, bend the elbows side to side, opening through the chest. And to test our balance even more, we inhale to look up towards the ceiling. Then we reach back up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. And then from here, adjust yourself. I just want to turn so you can see me. Then we'll unhinge the right foot. Send it back as we send the fingertips forward. So heel comes up towards the ceiling and we turn the toes in to square the hips. Warrior three. Option to variate with airplane arms here. Then on an exhale, we step back to our high lunge. Arms come up and overhead, sink into the lunge. Exhale, bend the elbows side to side, slight back bend here. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, we bring the hands down, frame the front foot. Then we step back to plank. Inhale to shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, press up and back to your extended child's pose. You can stay here in extended child's pose, or you can extend your practice by doing some more puppy poses, more downward dogs, maybe incorporating a back bend here, perhaps a camel pose. It's all up to you. Or you can flip onto your back and end in the corpse pose or savasana. Either way, this is where I will say goodbye to you, bid you adieu, and thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I'll see you next week on the virtual mat.